And welcome back, everyone. We just had Death Battle, Tom in versus Coyote. It was a lot of fun. And they revealed the Death Battle. I mean, we now got one of the Death Battles we were not aware we were getting. At least I don't think we were aware we were getting this one because I couldn't find it in my predictions list. Deku versus Spider-Man. Now, based on what they showed, it looks like it's going to be the Miles version of Spider-Man, which does make some sense. But yeah, Deku versus Spider-Man, and I didn't know this was coming, but I'm glad to see it. It's something different, something I can actually do a prediction video on because so far, like the last three, I think I've already done all the prediction videos for. But and by the way, this thumbnail is made by Agent Redhead. So it's from the fandom site. So I just want to give proper shout out. No, I'm not stealing anything. It was just available to use. But more to the point, this is interesting because Deku's power set, once he starts gaining all his quirks, is similar to a Spider-Man to some degree. In fact, Horikoshi is a very big Spider-Man fan, so it's clear he designed Deku to some degree after Spider-Man. Now, granted, there are abilities that Deku has that any version of Spider-Man. Sorry, one second. I'm fixing my couch at the moment. Oh, man. Okay, fixing that. That's a lot. Oh, that's a lot better. Holy crap, it's a lot better. So there's a lot of abilities Deku has that Spider-Man just doesn't have a similar power, similarly related power to. For example, he does not have a version of gearshift or Fajin or smokescreen or fog. No, it's called smokescreen. Either way, he doesn't have a version of those. But Danger Sense is clearly just a version of Spider Sense. Black Whip, while it does more than just webbing, it allows Deku to have a webbing-like ability. And obviously super strength and super speed are also a part of that as well. But the question is, who do I think is going to win in this fight? Miles is physically extremely powerful. He's a Spider-Man after all. Wall crawling. He has his electrical abilities. He also has a spider sense as well. But honestly, I mean, I honestly think this should be a no-brainer. This should be Deku all the way. Again, if we're just going by the physicality alone, take all of his other quirks out of the equation. First off, both these guys are intelligent. I think Deku might be the slightly more analytical of the two, but regardless. Just take the physicality into question. If we're assuming that he's stronger than peak All Might at his peak, which he should be, because All One for All is an accumulation effect, so he should surpass All Might, which means he's got the power of pretty much a nuke in his fist when he's going all out. Miles doesn't even come close to that. Not even close. Even Peter Parker doesn't come close to that. Durability-wise, though, Miles might have the edge. He can take a hit, but so can Deku. Mind you, he takes a hit and his body can only take so much, but he can still take a hit. I might give Miles edge on durability and recovering time too. Straight speed, again, without the use of gear shift, that gets a little bit trickier. Like reaction speed, I'll say Miles' spider sense should work more effectively than Deku's danger sense. Just because it's always active and Deku does get like a sharp pain when he feels it, as well as the fact it can be tricked. Spider sense can be tricked too, but Deku doesn't have anything to trick spider sense, I don't think. So there's that. But therein lies the other problems here in this fight for Miles. Miles does have the electrical ability, which Deku just straight out doesn't have. But Deku has the ability to float/fly by using air gusts, so he already has a battlefield advantage over, like a battlefield advantage in terms of tactical advantage, in terms of movement. He also has Black Whip, which functions similar to webbing, but is a lot more versatile than webbing. It cannot just be used for grabbing things. It can be used for augmenting his own physical strikes. He can just summon it. He has no limitation. Well, quirks are limitations, but it's a natural occurring thing versus the limitation of webbing that Miles has. And it's energy versus webbing. So that's another big problem Miles is going to face. Then you factor in smokescreen, which that one won't really be a problem in the fight because his spider sense would counter that. Although it would probably take him off guard the first time it's used. But then you get into the final two. Fajin, which essentially after, doing a lot of the same repetition movement again and again and again and again and again, you're storing kinetic energy. Now, granted, a lot of people have said that I've often said that if this quirk, say, awoken or had awakened, because we know quirks, there's awakening of quirks where they get stronger. This quirk probably would have been busted. Because the idea is you have to like constantly do repetition movements over and over again. So if I'm working a punching bag for a while, I am doing that same movement. So I'm storing kinetic energy in my body, doing squats, all that. But in actuality, just walking around is kinetic motion. Just, hell, your heart beating is kinetic motion. So it's constant motion. So an awakened version of that quirk, in theory, could have been busted. Just straight busted. Because your body is always constantly doing repeated motions. Regardless, though, still using Fajin in any capacity means Deku can go well beyond his max capacity. Like without his just regular max capacity, he can now just extend it indefinitely to like 100. He did like a pseudo 100% with only 45% of one for all. He can go well past 100% with Fajin. And then there's the one that's going to freaking end Miles. Gearshift. Gearshift is a broken quirk. The only limitation is Deku can only use it for like 5 minutes. Otherwise, he stops breathing because his body just can't process oxygen. But the fact is, he can literally manipulate the level of speed of an object he touches. And he literally ignore the laws of physics and stop it dead in his tracks without inertia kicking in. So there's no kickback. He just stop. If he touches Miles, which this would happen, he could legitimately mess Miles up. I have stated this before when I did Naruto getting one for all. But theoretically, all he has to do is touch him, and the minute that Miles tries to move, Deku can just manipulate the movement and just just boop, 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 and literally just start messing with him. Like, seriously, just messing with all of his movement. And that's not even including the fact that Deku can come in at super high velocities, physics-breaking speed, and then come in with the striking power of a full-powered Fajin one for all and decimate Miles, like blow his ass up with a punch. So, both these guys lost their initial fights. One of them's going to have to lose again. I think it's going to be Miles who loses. Unfortunately, Miles is kind of getting the shit end of the rope right now. That's not a saying, but that's a saying I'm going with. I think Miles is getting a shit end of the stick. Yeah, that's a stick, yeah. It's not a rope, it's stick. But, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think Deku's going to take this one. But look, this is just my opinion. Maybe you think Miles is going to win, and if you do, fine. I mean, give me a good argument. I could still buy it. Just Miles is still a Spider-Man. He's still got the physicality that beats most heroes in the My Hero world. He's still got his electrical ability that could throw Deku off. But Deku also has fought through a hell of a lot. Frankly, more than Miles has in some circumstances. So, if we're going just by the willpower argument too, I still would go probably Deku, just because of main hero protagonist willpower trope. So from anime. But yeah, that's my thoughts. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.